me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome back to Reptiles and Cocktails, episode number 95, Precision and Vision, which was going to be a two-piece in the podcast topic. But because I have another topic for Monday, we're going to go ahead and knock this off right now today. All right. I'm going to be patient with this one. I'm going to take my time with this one because I hope that you guys just leave out here with something, a tool to apply to your reptile life and your personal life that is going to help you take a step forward in 2024, help you flourish. And I'm just going to be sharing the tool that I use. And I talked about it before, and I told you I would share it one day on one of the channels. So I'm going to share it today since my guest is in the Dominican Republic. Jules, if you're watching, hey, girl, hey. Who was willing to do the podcast. I'm like, look, if I'm on my trip to the Dominican Republic, I'm not doing a podcast. So I always can find something to fill it in. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to do so. So just be patient with me. Good morning, Don D. Good morning, John, listening in at work. I hope you have an amazing day. Good morning, afternoon, my folks. So y'all be my mornings and my afternoon just run together because I just get up and go. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Wiz. Good morning, bro. How are you? Good morning, Mitzi. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody in the chat. Brittany, good morning. Brittany is actually following my vegan channel. So if you all guys are not following that channel, just go over there, subscribe. Even if you never, ever think you're ever gonna ever live that lifestyle, just go in there and support me. I'm really catering to the people who are looking for something different. And I'm going to share with y'all today since October 18th without even trying, doing the only thing that I've done differently is cut out meat, dairy, and I am telling you, I lost over 40 pounds. So officially over 40 pounds since October 18th, 2023. And for a long time, I didn't even weigh myself. I didn't start to weigh myself until my mother and husband became concerned. And so I started to weigh myself weekly now. And so it's interesting to see just by living I never was a bad eater per se. And y'all know I always worked out, but clearly I think I found the master overall haul to my body. And I think, so if you're not watching the channel, you don't know this, my husband and my son also. So if y'all see Michael has lost weight. With Slim, of course, he has no need to lose weight, but definitely, overall conditioning. So my husband was a cigarette smoker, doesn't smoke, has not smoked since the beginning of the year. And so that is like a huge thing, cigarettes. That's a huge thing for him. And I'm so proud. But I tell anyone, if you try it at a certain point, your body is grossed out about anything that will poison it. And y'all know I like my drinks, for example. I can't even get past. I think since this October 18th, I've had 2 glasses of champagne, and I can't. It takes me hours to get through 1 glass of champagne, and that's a vegan branded champagne. Your body just doesn't desire it. So, my message as we go into some of my topics today is, if you are truly interested, you can take it from me. And I would say I was a person who was not, I'm gonna say against veganism, but I was the person who was like, but this, but that, but this, but that for years. For years. One of my biggest things was I didn't want to start to look old. And I realized that there is a certain way that you eat with plant-based whole food products that you still can be vegan and eat bad. So there are vegans out there who are still eating unhealthy foods, even though it's not animal based or even though it's not dairy. But if you eat clean, the weight that we've been, I am in Stamino, y'all. I shouldn't be able to lose 40 pounds. Any woman out there who is in unnatural or natural menopause would tell you, you should not be able to lose 40 pounds since October 18th. Eating a balanced, healthy diet. But I am, and I have, and even the doctor is like, and I feel amazing. I feel better. So I said I wanted to feel like I felt before my surgery. I feel like I felt in high school, and literally, no BS. My 7-year-old granddaughter could not outwalk me, y'all. She literally had to pick up a stick as a crutch. So I just share that to share, if you know you got family members who are battling health. Or like for me, some people look at me and was like, was nothing wrong with your weight, but for me I was always the athletic person. And even if I worked out, I was never a person who was winded after working out. So I'm back to who I was when I was in my teenage years, and I can't explain it no other than that was the change that I made. So I just have to share it. It would be selfish of me not to. And for those of you who are close to me or follow me on a daily basis, you'll see a lot of changes. I'll give you other changes that it does to you mentally. I have no desire to listen to music when I work out now. You know what I listen to? Everything that I want to fill my brain with that's going to help me to these goals we're going to talk about in a few. So it's stuff that's reptile related, stuff that is PR related, stuff that is, of course, health related. I have listened to more podcasts on the benefit of walking over other exercises, literally. The overall natural benefit of walking, down to the point of our bodies was designed to move, and how our bodies break down from sedimentation from not moving, and how walking actually naturally does something for us mentally and physically, because we were designed to move, right? And it's things that I would have never listened to a whole, because I'm walking miles, y'all. So I'm listening to 2 hours of a podcast as I'm walking. And it's like your mental clarity, your communication like changes, your patience, and you just want to share the good parts of life with everybody. And I'm telling you, it's an amazing journey. It's an amazing, like I used to hear people talk like this and be like, weirdo, like food ain't gonna make you feel like that. Y'all, you hearing it from your girl. Food will make you feel like that. In the natural forms of what we should be eating. So to each his own. Slim kind of gradually did it. He would try things that I started to cook. And then he realized that the vegan food tastes amazing. And then, of course, being the person who's watching his wife literally, physically, mentally flourish, energy wise, y'all, is just insane. Like, my mind from a business perspective is just constantly churning. What I want to talk about has changed. It's like so different. So I just wanted to share that. And before I start the next part, I want to just say hi to everybody who came into the chat after I started this initial greeting. I hope that you are having an amazing Saturday. Sorry, I forgot to put this on my. I'll do that now. Okay. So thank you, Brittany, for sharing the link so much. Hey, Elias. Good afternoon. I keep wanting to say good morning. Good afternoon, bro. Elias, how are you? How is your journey going? Let me know if you need any support. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. It's taken a while for me to mentally change, but I have seen a difference since I was forced into a vegan lifestyle. My energy is definitely different. Yes. Um, yeah, and it's a good point, Elias. The mental change. So for me, someone asked me the other day, what keeps you? So y'all know I love my seafood. Y'all know I love my seafood. And I've been around it and everything and have no desire for it. And someone asked me, like, how y'all don't understand. I'm a person who ate crabs every other day. Like, so my husband will call me, he would be off on his way home from work. What you want? Can you go get a dozen of crabs? That's like every other day event. That's what it used to be. And so I was raised on it. We was cracking crabs open when we were 3 years old. And so I personally was always a big seafood girl, never a big meat girl. So to not have meat is not a big deal to me, but chicken and seafood is. To have no desire for it at all is because of how I feel. When I tell you I cannot put into words how taking away the dairy, taking away the grease, taking away the sugar, because I think that's a big part of everything that's happening. Taking away the sugar, because I was a Hershey and almond girl too. It's totally life changing. I can talk about it all day, but I have another channel for that. I made major changes this year too. I quit smoking a long time ago, but also gave up alcohol. But listening to audiobooks and lots of podcasts, finally getting back to Instagram and YouTube. Amazing. And I'm so glad you're tapped into this because it's important. What we're going to be talking about when I share you guys what I feel about vision boards and stuff like that. It's definitely and you're going to see. I'm going to show you the vision board that I say changed my presence as I am right now, this moment. And then the vision board that I created or started to create it for 2024 is totally different. And I'm going to explain the difference in between the two. And I'm going to tell you the benefit of getting from here to there with those vision boards and your goals. And you're going to see it in real time, in real life with a real person who live just like, you guys. So it's not like Magic Johnson telling you to write a vision board and then hitting your goals. That's another thing, y'all. Your teeth. I keep telling my husband, look like I got whitening on my teeth, y'all. I don't. My teeth, the no coffee, it changed everything. Watching on TV, not much up chat today. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. Hey, Ken, I hope you are as well. I hope you are as well. All right. So I wanted to share how my 2024 season is going. There's a lot going on with me right now, as some of you can see, but it's all a blessing of my 2022 and 2023 goals. And so therefore it's the transition into my 2024. So it all makes sense in my world. But I want to talk about my breeding, right? So I started off saying I was only going to breed 5 ball pythons. No retakes are being bred in 2024 on purpose. Now, if Chala has some retained sperm or something like that, which she might, that'll be something different. But there's no active breeding going on in 2024, although it is tempting to breed my tiger pied and my Motley Tiger. It's tempting. They are both ready to roll, but as of right now, won't be breeding any in 2024. The good thing is that going into 2024, I don't have many of the remainder of Childless Clutch from February. So with the shows that I have, and then the people who naturally inquire and my repeat customers, those animals will be liquidated except for the 3 that I'm holding back. Not 1, but 3 now. 3 that I'm holding back. And I'm holding back for different reasons. Now, my first pairing was my Super Pastavi Clown, Vanity, to my Leopard Desert Ghost Pastel Clown, Mister. And looks like I'm not pairing her again, but she's definitely looks like she's going to go. And I'm pretty excited about that one. Then I paired my Mojave Red Stripe Ghost Dynasty to my Acid Black Pastel Butterfire. My goal is to get more hypo ghosts, whatever you want to call it, in the collection with that pairing. And also, the acid is in that combo. The black pastel that I still love is in that combo. The Mojave and the red stripe. There's so much that I have going on that will go with anything that particular thing produced. And I think if it hits all things, that's the strike 9. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And then I'm pairing the pastel Inchy Het Ghost again to get more hypo hets into the collection. To the Inchy OD Yellow Belly Lace Clown. Everybody knows that's my favorite male in my collection. She's definitely going. I have her going into her pre-ovulation shed any day now, based on her follicular growth. And then the 4th pairing we have is the repeat pairing. So y'all know that I want to continue with my banana odium stuff. And so my Ari Pastel Pod Canaan is paired again to Money, the Super OD Yellow Belly Banana Odium Het Pod. I'm hoping to get more pods out of that pairing this time. I got 2 pods, visual pods out of the pairing the last time. But I'm hoping to get more visual pods in this pairing this time with the OD Yellow Belly, because we pretty much got in that the OD actually hit everything. The Yellow Belly hit everything. The banana didn't hit everything. And I wouldn't have been mad if I had gotten literally more banana odium pods. I would have been okay with that. But I did get the one OD Yellow Belly banana odium pod. And then I got the Yellow Belly OD pod in that clutch as well. So I'm hoping just to get more pods. And then the Clown 66% Albino that I have 2 of those. Both of them are from GP. So they will be bred. So the Clown 66% had albino Rita. I paired her to the OD Leopard Yellow Belly or Asphalt 50% Het Clown. And I'm hoping to get, of course, more visual clowns, and also hoping to get some prove out Yellow Belly or Asphalt in them. And I hope it's Asphalt, actually, this one, because the last Yellow Belly or Asphalt actually proved Yellow Belly, and I got enough Yellow Belly. Keys would say you can't have enough, but I really do have enough. And then I paired the Pastel Soft for Het Clown, Mommy Chulo, to the OD Yellow Belly or Asphalt 50% Het Clown Regal. Again, hoping to produce more clowns, because those clowns have a big part in my 2025, where you're going to start to see the offspring of the visual double hats and het pie clown. Double head clowns and pies, and then you're going to also start to see visuals, or I should be producing triple heads, hypo clown pies, and in some cases visuals in 2025. So fingers crossed with that. And then Cher, who I paired last year, I did her. So I paired her again this year, but instead to the black pastel, I paired her to the black head, Yellow Belly or Gravel again. I'm hoping to produce more black head. I was very lucky with this last season. My goal was to produce a bunch of visual leopard. I was very lucky to produce a bunch of visual leopard combos. So now I want to try to repeat the same thing with the adding more blackhead. I was lucky to get a lot of visual blackhead combos as well this year. But I want blackhead and leopard is 2 base genes that I want to load up in my collection. And it goes with almost anything that I'm already raising up to. And then with them being head clowns and some of them being double head clown pies, it's going to work for whatever I do, whether plugging it into the hypo, or you'll hear me talk about the next parent as well. So the next parent is the Ari Pastel Head Pie. Ari, she actually did go last year. She is actually the mom of the blackhead Aries that I did produce. But this year I put her also with the Acid Black Pastel Butterfly Lethal as well. And then I have the VPI Inchy Exantic going to the VPI Exantic Bumblebee. I am a fan of that particular snake, so I'm hoping the spider doesn't touch, in the bad way. Anyway, I love spiders, so I will hope I get visual spiders. I'm not a person that's against it. I just don't want any of the combinations to be spiders that I cannot raise up because of any illnesses. So I'm hoping to, and then again, that in that parent, that's the VPI Inchy Exantic with the VPI Exantic Bumblebee. And that Bumblebee is actually also 66% het DG, which goes along with my whole program. DG, the enhancer, the head pod, adding the hypo, the clown, those recessive, the ultramel. The ultramel is going to be the big pickup for my 2026. Because most of my visual ultramel combos are still growing up now, but they also plug into a bunch of hats. So, yeah, so that's my plans. So I have been breeding 9. We'll see how many of them go. As of right now today, it looks like definitely at least 3 of them definitely are going to go this season, and like literally like should be going into ovulation anytime soon. But those are my goals. And so those pairings actually will get plugged into the vision board that I'm going to share with you guys in a second. And I'll show you how I start off with the base of the vision board. But I'm going to start off with the vision board that I shared after let me go past these comments real fast, make sure I didn't miss anything. Elias said, God not be with me or no coffee. Elias is actually a vegan coffee. For me, it's just that my body don't desire it anymore. It desires a smoothie in the morning. So like for a Slim, if he wanted coffee, you can make vegan coffee. Like, and then mushrooms make everything. Apologize. Mushrooms make everything. So you can definitely do that. If Chala wakes up one day and say, I think I want to do this again and give a clutch, then that means it's time for me to get a retake. Well, I don't know, Elias. You might be getting a retake because I'm looking at her every single day, and she definitely looks like she may be going. All right. So let me go here. And I'm going to start with, this is the board that I said changed my life. So this board hangs in my, I have an office upstairs too, but it's actually more like a workout room and an overflow of my pocketbooks and where I go and kind of meditate and things like that. But this board was the board that I created going into 2022. And I had no idea how my life was going to like literally reflect it. So in 2022, we were coming out of COVID. Everything was opening back up. I was a regional property manager. And when I tell you in property management, of course, because you're dealing with people, homes, in my case, my teams, their children, their husbands, and everybody going through COVID together, it was just like we were tired. We were tired as individuals. We were tired as a company. And as a company financially, the company was positioned to still buy everything around the world. So we were, still, doing what we're supposed to do for the company who did for us, right? So all of that was going on. And then we just was doing our vision boards and we all came up with words. So my AVP at the time said, I want y'all to all pick a word. My word was renew, which actually renewal, as I always say, ties into the shedding of snakes. That's in the Bible, for the people who, the Christians who don't recognize snakes in the Bible other than in the Garden of Eden. It's throughout the Bible. Whenever you talk about renewal, rebirth, regeneration, regaining, it's so many things where snakes are present when the word start over, do over, change, process comes into place. So my word was renew. And that was also the same year that so it was like when I first said that I am going to start to breed. I had started prepping for that, for breeding in 2018. So that was when I first started buying my first, not my pets, because I know y'all see Busy and all of them. Those were pet animals. I'm talking about literally buying the Rex and buying breeding animals was 2018. Yes, I did have a bunch of pets at that time already, but the breeding part. And so everything was just renewal. I started the business. I officially just started building the brand of Lady Tiz Exotics, working with Vaughn Guidance, which I still say is one of the best people to produce what you need quickly, overnight, in the middle of the night. So I reached out to Vaughn, gave Vaughn my vision. Vaughn produced the logo, and everything was going from there. But I'm doing that while working full time at the same time as a regional manager. And as a regional manager, there is, just so you guys get a picture, it's almost like being on call like a doctor is. Like, you never know. You can leave the office as soon as you get in the car, something happens, you turn it back around, your whole night can just be gone. I was blessed with trained up teams where I, as a regional manager, feel like my life was a little bit more balanced than maybe others, but I would tell you that even mine's being balanced, I felt unbalanced a lot. And so much happened that year from a perspective. Not realizing, again, you see on this board some things that's common. You see me talk about the eat right up in the corner. There's a bunch of scriptures on there, both a bunch of quotes to myself. The scriptures were, a lot of them was related to renewal, allowing God to lead the way, praying without ceasing and stuff like that. So that's what a whole lot of these scriptures were. If you see some of the pictures, you see back then, I only have a couple vacation. I want y'all to keep that in mind. In this pictures, you only see a couple vacation pictures in here because I only wanted a couple, because at that time, me and Slim took a vacation every 3 months. We were at an island every 3 months for 10 days. And I'm not talking about just no regular vacation. We did it. So vacation wasn't a hope, a desire, not a big renewal goal, because we was doing that regardless what the hell was going on. So we did that. And so that wasn't a big thing, but I want y'all to keep that as a note, because when I show you the next one, I'm going to show you how things flip when you make adjustments and why they flip in a good way, in a great way, not necessarily in a bad way, but how you have to sacrifice some things to gain the things that are presented to you through our, what we believe. Then you'll see in here, the most important one is this one in the middle, and it has said, jump into your dreams. Y'all, this one was the most significant thing when life changed for me, and I'll talk about that now. So for those of you who watched, and those of you who are watching for the first time, those of you who watched the playback, August 2022, I retired from my full-time job to do this full-time and everything else in life I want to do. Like, I don't care what it is. If I want to do it and my husband agrees, we're doing it, and I've done it, and I'm going to continue to do it. In 2024, you saw the thumbnail. It's going to be more of that in 2024. Okay. Now, but I'm going to go to my thing where I retired. The opportunity came. I was fortunately financially positioned to do so regardless. So where a lot of people have the conversation about people doing things full time and for selling the snakes, I don't have to sell snakes to survive. It is a blessing to be able to sell snakes. But for me, it's not my means of survival. We would not have made that decision if it was going to be our means of survival. It is a means. Don't get me wrong, and I appreciate every customer I have. I appreciate everyone who supports everything that I do. I appreciate all of you who shared my photo shoot with y'all and the kids last week, who is potentially may go viral. I got that note from someone the other day. I think they said it's like 30,000 views or something already, and I'm like, oh, cool, But that's from the love and appreciation from you guys. And I say to people who don't realize that people see you more than you think they do. It's when they're going to react to what they see is the question. And that's for me what TikTok has become for me, and some relationships that I have built through that as well. And so just exploring all of my avenues. I told you I was working to hire a PR company this morning to focus on some other things that I want to do educationally with our reptiles. Just like life is just continue to like light up in a great way. And I believe a lot of it happens to reflect from a lot of like physical changes that I've done for myself, the way that I'm eating, the way that I'm thinking through the shift in my mind thoughts. And I'm not very how did my husband say, I'm not hyper, like I don't make the impromptu decisions. I'm thinking them through more. I am definitely focused on my 2024 being more than 2023, but I didn't do a new goal board from 2022 to 2023 because 2022 kind of just ran into 2023 and those goals remain the same. But 2024 goals, you're going to see they start off very differently than that board I just showed you. That board was a time me coming out of feeling tired. That board was a time of me looking for hope, for change that was going to bring new joy, renewal, rejuvenation to my overall world. And people from the outside look in and they'll see, well, y'all took 4 vacations. We took those 4 vacations because we needed them. It wasn't like, we're just going to spend money on vacations. No, we'd rather save some of that money too. But to my point is we were taking them because we needed them. And so then when we come into this new goal board, because 2023, we took some, but we didn't take a lot of vacations like we would normally do. We took some. And in 2023, it was like, because we're living in our joy, we don't feel the need to vacate as much, right? Because we're living in our joy at that particular time. We're not escaping anything. Like we're living in joy. And so when I was doing 2024 goal board, I was like, let me add more vacations in here, not because I need them, because they're still good to have and we still can do them. So they don't have to be the long 10-day vacations like we used to have, right? Because we was just trying to be away, so we ain't got to come back to work for as long as we can. Won't be tempted like to go and check out a fire or something like that because we on another island. Now we can take shorter vacations, 5-day vacations, you know what I'm saying? And it's still, my thing now is I fear leaving the animals for more than 4 to 5 days. So that's a me thing. I'm content with not leaving them for that long period of time, right? But I have to keep in mind that I have a family also, you know what I'm saying? So I have to create that balance for them, which, Slim is good either way, but I still like to travel with the grandkids. I still like to do things with Michael and stuff like that. So making that happen more. So when I get into the next goal board for 2024, you're going to see the shifts in it compared to what you saw for the previous life. The previous life was the life where I had to show up somewhere every single day. I was the person that everybody went to every single day. I didn't have to come home and be a wife, and I didn't have to come home and be a mother. I still had to be a grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Like all those other things came into play. I'm living in the world now where I have control over all of that time. And I can be what I like being the most, the mother, the grandmother, the wife, you know what I'm saying? I can be those the most without any interruptions. So everything else in life feels balanced, but it took a lot of work to get there, took a lot of focus to get there. And it took, I want to say this, a whole lot of faith, because I was praying, I was creating that goal board. I said, jump into my dreams when I put that big poster in the middle of my renewal message. And God said, I heard you. and you're going to jump quicker than you thought. My retirement goal wasn't to age of 55. I did it at 48. And I did it at 48. I have the same burdens that other people have. We own a house, we have cars, we have medical, we have life, we got all of that stuff that still matters, right? But because of the hard work that I put in the years of doing that, we was positioned as a couple to do it, and without strain going on my husband. You know what I mean? Like we could still do this and make it work. Did we make adjustments? Yes. Now that I operate a business full time and it is with living beings, I can't just up and go like we used to. You know, I can get my nephew to come here anytime, but there are a lot of animals now, you know what I'm saying? And so therefore, in order to ensure that they're taken care of, I can't do a lot of the things that I used to could do because we had the money, you know? So the money is always going to be there, prayerfully so, if we continue to do the things that we do together. And if we continue to save the money that we, you know, been blessed to have. If we live frugal, if we make wise decisions and wise choices, that's going to be there. However, these animals need me. And so therefore we can't make those type of decisions, but I can't not create the balance for my family. So Elias said, vegan coffee, let me do my cuckoos. Yeah. And they said it's really good, Elias. Check it out, bro. Personal info. Hey, I have to run, but I wanted to tell you you're the reason I got a retic. Oh, personal info. You have to IG me. I'm not sure if I know exactly who it is personally, but I'm glad that you were influenced by me. And I hope that you and your retic is doing really, really well together. Anyone knows Stan, please reach out to him as he lost his no. Oh man, that is so sad. Thank you, Bosa. No. Y'all, we talking about life. Like we was talking about life last Monday. It is so short and not promised. That's the big shocker. Yeah. I'll definitely reach out to him right after the podcast. Um, mm. So going into this one right here, the more in 2024. So you'll see the difference between that last one. It was only 2 vacation pictures. And this one, I'm consciously making sure that we go back to taking 4. So I took a picture of each vacation, not each vacation, of a picture of a vacation, 4 pictures of a vacation that we actually have been on. And this is my focus for 2024. Now on this board, this will be the middle of the board, like the one that you just saw. So this is my focal point. Around it, I will still add applicable scriptures. I will still add applicable motivation quotes. I will also add my breeding plans to the goal board when I finish, but this is the core of it. And then you'll see I also put a little inspirational picture on right there. That was the day that I realized that I lost 40 pounds since October 18th. So I posted that picture on there. So I want to stay motivated to be spiritual in my health. And then at the bottom, you'll see my financial freedom. So continue to invest the money instead of spending as much as I used to. I can't speak for Slim. Slim was always good with investing and not spending. I am the person who believes that I can die tomorrow. Let's spend it all today. But I've gotten a lot better in 2023, and I've also gotten better in 2024. So continue to work with. I use different financial sources, but one of my favorites to use is Robinhood. I've actually had some where other people suffered in the market. I had some come ups in the market in 2023. And Slim is really big into option trading now. So it's fun, you know, different things that we both are motivated by. He's more of that numbers driven financial graph type of person. I'm more of the, you know, energy. Let's do it, you know, what's next for me type of person. And it works for both of us together. But yeah, so continue to build our financial freedom. And that's even with like we revamped life insurance policies, the policies that we had when we worked, and from now to now, and making sure that we cover the people who need to be covered, because these young people, even though they have kids, they don't think about life insurance and stuff like that. So like revamping life, to make sure that the best that you can. We can never be extra prepared or over prepared. We never know what's going to happen. We don't have that much control, but as much as the things that you can control, your goal board should be working towards that. So I would add that to those, the quotes, the scriptures. There are certain things that my dad used to say to me that I put on every goal board, every vision board. One of those things is, your attitude will dictate your altitude. So I normally put that in the corner. Are you determined? Are you dedicated? Are you dependable? My dad and my old principal, high school principal, used to say that. And that's how I look at every goal. Elias said to me one time that he admires the fact that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Elias, that's the reason behind that mindset is me saying, are you determined to do this? Are you dedicated to do this? And can you depend on you to do this? Those are the three questions I ask. If I can answer all three of them, I know I'm going to be successful. There are things that I do, I'll be like, I don't know if I'm going to be dedicated to this. Or there's things that I do, I'm determined. I don't know if I'm dependable. Those things are the things that I know that I got to focus more on. But those things that when I say I can answer all three of those things and answer them solidly, then I'm good. And I know that I can roll with it, whatever it is. So, and Eliza is a person who follows me. So just going back to October or even August, going back to August, if you look at guys, I mean, I was heavily tanned at that particular point because I stayed in the water. But even if you look back at the physical form of me in the beginning of this intro, I'm watching that and I'm like, that was just a few months ago. Me today is like literally the high school cheerleader. Like I'm literally, guys, back into that particular shape, and it's amazing to me. So focus. I didn't take that off as a goal because I think that sometimes we can get complacent. I want to continue this for my life. So that would be a goal every year on the board, is my spiritual health, and tying that all into the financial freedom to be able to travel, to be able to continue this business and be able to flourish in the business my way. Because y'all heard in my list, there's a whole bunch of pastel in here. That's my way. That's what I want to do. There's also a lot of pastel that's going with some hot stuff that I can already tell you. Like the pastel leopard calico combo I got is one of the prettiest snakes that I see. You know what I mean? So you just never know. Do what you want to do. Do it for yourself. And that's the same thing for people who does things that other people don't think that it's going to be worth the investment you put in now. That's for other people to worry about and think. Do what you love. I can tell you right now, there's not a snake in that room I don't go in and glad that it's there. If you buy it, fine. If it's for sale, but if you don't, it is loved. Or my grandchild's gonna come kidnap it if that's the case. But whatever the case may be, it's warranted in my collection one way or the other. The hard part for me is that there are some adults that after this season I should be parting with. And that's the hard part in this market. Like for me, I didn't anticipate that part to happen for me now. Right. So having like the market so saturated right now, and then where most people want the babies first, right? So where you have these adults, and then these adults, even in my opinion, are not not worth the sale. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna sell it, or I want it to be to someone who still be breeding it for a specific reason. So that's going to be one of the biggest challenges for me. But that won't come into 2025. I have no intent of selling any of them in 2024, even if I don't breed them. Like the Inchy Champagne is not being bred ever again here. Not that it didn't produce beautiful babies. I just have no need for it. I have an emotional attachment to it because it was like a subsidy snake that came from Bone Projects with a couple other snakes that I had purchased. So It's an emotional attachment. So, but I think next year that will be one of the adults that I'll definitely have to part with, or hopefully that one of the kids that I sold the baby to, or a new family I've sold the baby to, as they're growing the babies up, that they actually will feel more comfortable with also getting an adult snake at that particular time, because I would feel better about, um, letting them go to a family that I know has raised the baby up. If you raise the baby up, then you most likely will be okay with taking care of the adult as well. So that's just like my hope. So yeah, so pretty much, hey Jessica. Um, I've never done a vision board before, but have always wanted to. Misty, they are, so for me, like I said, it's kind of like a roadmap to your life as well. What I've learned with the vision board is kind of like you also put it in the atmosphere. So I look at it every day. So that's one of the first things I see in the morning. My vision board sits upstairs in that room I told you, and it's normally the room that I work out in, or I do my Zen in, or it's the room where I keep my artillery. Let me say that. So it's the room that my artillery is stored in. So it's normally my room of peace. And so when I will go in that room, I'll look at the board. Like some things, like on that board, you'll see one of the cards say pay off my truck. I did that. And that was a goal for 2022, but we paid the truck off by March of 2022. But that, I'll tell y'all about God. When we even looking at that was in preparation. That was a decision that we made, not knowing we were prepping for my retirement. Because when I retired, by that time, all the cars except for one was paid off. And then we ended up getting the BMW, which we paid cash for. So it was like, and then my daughter needed a truck. And so we had a paid off truck that we could just give her. So it was just like God was just setting all of those things up, for us to be able to bless others and for us to be blessed as well. We didn't know it. My vision board was put out into the atmosphere, and God was hearing the prayers and the quotes, and he was seeing and all of that stuff that I had on there. And when I would pin something up on there, he saw it and he blessed it. And so right now today, and I pray like every day I look at that board, I got new goals, and although they're not the same goals, because I have achieved what I needed to achieve in that particular vision, there's new visions. No one lives and stay in the same vision. No one says I want to be the same I was 1 year ago. I mean, if they do, then that person has no opportunity to progress, because you can't progress even in your greatest, even if you are the best of the best. You cannot progress if you don't want to do better than what you were before. And then being open to new opportunities. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I ain't did makeup since Dead People. So being approached with, new opportunities, new entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and being able to tie into the reptiles, and literally saying to myself, so here's another example, Elias, are you determined, dedicated, and dependable? Makeup is expensive, okay? Expensive. But go out here, buy all this makeup to literally tie brands and to work to help other female entrepreneurs who also are helping me through the same promotional realm. It's insane. So I had to say to myself, like, I don't have to wait. Like right now, I don't have no makeup. People don't believe it. This is no makeup. There you go. No makeup. No makeup. There you go. This camera just works really good with my chocolate skin. Okay. When I do the makeup, you would think that I knew how to do it professionally. I did what Dead People. And recently we had to do makeup for my friend's daughter. We helped with her burial, and we did her makeup, and it just kind of sparked, like my brainstorming of the art of it kind of sparked. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, because there's an opportunity that could have been done it, but I don't want to do makeup every day, because literally you got to put it on, take the picture, tag whoever you're tagging, and then wash it all off again. Because I don't wear it like around the house. Now, if I'm going out, I will keep the look. But if most of the time I'm in the house, y'all, I'm in here wrestling snakes who don't care if I'm made up or not. They don't care how cute I am that day. T'Challa is still sitting over there shitting as we speak, y'all. Like, we speak to T'Challa. Don't care how cute the makeup is. You'll come over here and clean this shit when you get off their podcast. So, but understanding how the realms can open different areas. I was talking to Chastity, who is actually going to be most likely be the PR company that I actually choose. And she was just talking about how when she decided to do the pageant, how it literally catapulted her life. She didn't know it was going to happen. And now, same thing, retired from working full-time, younger than me, Chaz in her 30s, used to work for me. But being accepting to realize that, don't be afraid when that moment happens where your vision is coming true, but here's the way, and then you be like, oh nope, don't want to go that way. And I say this all the time, if my husband has said to me, you ain't leaving your full-time job, we would have missed on a wonderful opportunity to have the overall abundance of freedom that we have now. And I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he was very supportive and was like, I got it, do it your way, spend the money, because I spent money like crazy that first 2 years, and was prepared for everything I need though, and I'm grateful for that blessing, to have someone who supports you in that way. And I say that whether you have someone or not, I think everybody should have someone though. I'm going to say to everybody, if you don't have someone and you do come across that someone, don't throw them away. Work with them. Unless they, some shit we ain't working with. But you know what I'm saying? I think everybody should have someone. Because I can tell you this, when I think about how some people have left the hobby and stuff like that because they're so stressed out by the current market, which is the market is stressed regardless of what you're doing right now. I don't care what you're doing. The market is stressed. Even in the hospital where people must be taken care of, nurses are stressed. Okay. They don't have all the resources that they could have. And then they're outsourcing a lot of things. That's why you see these new jobs coming up where people actually transport medical equipment and stuff like that. So they're now working under the ideal operations that they were working under before COVID. So everything, if you're in a workplace, like, I don't care what you're doing, you see the actresses that we assume have the best life fussing about they're not paid enough. The one thing I never went to work and said, because I really feel this way, and I shout out that company forever to Morgan Properties for this. I never went to work. I never put on a survey that I wasn't paid enough. I always felt that I was paid. I was, thank you. Like, I felt like the company did pay enough. Now, certain things you cannot change. You can't put value on stress. So me saying, okay, yep, this is time I'm gonna retire because I can, had nothing to do with being paid enough. I was paid. I walked away for some cash. And if you're looking for a job, I suggest that you look them up because the company pays. That was never my issue. So I can't ever say that I was that person. But what you can't put into value is my peace of mind to be able to not look at a phone, to be able to not answer a phone, to be able to say, okay, right now I want to walk for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and then, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and cook lunch and then take a nap, is priceless. No company can compensate for that. So I think sometimes people confuse the fact of not being paid enough. No, you paid enough. A lot of people are paid enough for what they do, but what a company cannot compensate for is your peace of mind. What a company cannot compensate for is your health. What a company cannot compensate for is your mental health. What a company cannot compensate for is the time that you spend away from your disabled child for all the years that you grinded, for them. So don't confuse the two. When you're having a bad day at work and you say, I'm not paid enough, in all fairness to your job, think about what you do and then think about what they pay you. And if that's the answer, that's the answer. I'm just saying, I just say for most people, and I can tell you I used to always tell my employees, I know how much you get paid because I pay you. I know what kind of increase you get because I make sure you get them. And I was the boss to make sure you got the top of the increase unless you just was a bum employee. You just having a bad day. And we can't compensate for the stress that you have right now. And so it sounds like you need to go home early. And I was a fan of that, go home early, go home and do this, go get your nails done, and where some people didn't think that was compensation enough, then that's just, we can't pay, we can't compensate for that. And that's how I feel. I felt like I was highly compensated. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing if it wasn't for the compensation. Because part of that is the reason why that I was able to say, oh, yep, good, we're good, let's do this. So yeah, write your visions out. And let me tell you the fun part of doing the vision board. So if you go back to the first one, like the digital one I showed y'all is just a digital picture of what will be printed out, and that goes in the middle of this one. And then everything else I'll build up around it. My word for 2024 is more. And then you see the more in 2024. I will put there. But this one, you see how I use different things to make it. I got cutouts of magazines. I got some cards. I got some motivational cards. So like I'll just order from Amazon a book of motivational cards. You actually like scramble the cards, pull them out. Some of y'all, if y'all ever got a t-shirt or anything like that from me, you had a card in the bag. That's what I did. I would just scramble it and pull it out. And it would be so crazy. Sometimes I'll pull it out for people like Stan's card. I remember what Stan's card said. It was, and it was related to, what his wife was going through at the time. It'll be a random card, but it'll apply to that person, and it will come in with your shirt or your hat or whatever I would have sent to you. But you see that I use, some posters. And then the funniest thing is the meditational part. So the word renew you see here, I actually spelled it out with paper clips, not paper clips, thumbtacks. So that right there was just so therapeutic to take a bunch of thumbtacks, and I did them in different colors. Colors is important. You're going to like to look at the board if it's a lot of colors. So you'll see even some of the magazine pictures. There's a contrast between the colors and stuff that's on there. And then one of the things at the bottom that I will put on my 2024 too is today choose happy. Every day we have to make a conscious choice. I don't care who you are. I don't care how put together that I may seem all the time, or how put together the next person may seem all the time, or how someone wake up and they can give you a whole inspirational quote. Remember this, the person who gives you the most inspiration is the person sometimes who's going through the most. The reason why they're giving you the inspiration quote is because they woke up with something on their mind. They had to pull the damn inspiration for themselves, and then they had to share it with you. So don't take for granted that, people who, I'm just good with pulling myself together in the morning. Like I've always have been. Like I was always good with not wearing my life on the shoulders. But it's not like that. It doesn't, being a mother and a grandmother, and being a grandmother alone is stressful enough. I wake up with a whole bunch of questions about my grandkids every morning. If my daughter don't answer the phone, it is a whole few hours of stress. Okay. Whole few hours of stress. Like I'm like acting like a stalking boyfriend. Like I'm calling the backup phone, the kids' iClouds on the iPads, all that stuff. So we have the different stresses. My grandkids go to school, so I'm always something happening in school. The first thing, what school, where, like we all have our stresses. It might not be your stress. It might not be your stress. What I can tell y'all is I lean on the Lord and I turn it over. My husband gets down his knees every day. Now, he has done that every day since the day I met him, and he prays for us. And I pray every single morning when I go into the bathroom. And I'm very specific with my prayer because I don't need the same thing every single day. But sometimes I just pray for peace. I could wake up just emotionally, just like realming over something, pray for peace, and it goes away. And I share those things with people because I can only tell you the things that in my 50 years has worked for myself. And people can say a lot of things about me, but they can never say they saw me walking around stressing. You never saw me looking bad, none of that kind of stuff, because I will leave that to the Lord, and then I will bust out the walls and go into the world like nothing's happening. And I remember my employees used to say that, oh, I didn't know you were going through that. So you look like this, you look like that. That was my job to look like this. And they paid me to sit in the car of the parking lot of your community and get my head right before I walk through the door cussing and all that kind of stuff. I can't do that walking through your door. But in the car, that's what I was doing. So yeah, so you just have to be absolutely intentional about your goals, your life, what it is that you want to do. Hey, twin. Hey, elevated, what it is you want to do with your life. And if you need to make life shifts, it's okay. I talked about this Monday. Be selfish, don't let people talk you out of being selfish, and don't let people, you don't have to agree with everything that someone says or does. You have the right to express yourself, but people have the right to rebuttal it. And with that being said, if you do not allow people to do that both ways, then you're not having if you're mad at what somebody said or did, then you're having a bad day. And then that's okay. But if you're actually holding that against them, then you're not loving each other like you're supposed to. So for me, I am, and the people closest to me get it the hardest. I will say that. I will shit on you to clean you up, but I expect you to do the same. It's one of the things, like I said, I love about my husband. He's not a mean person, but he's going to keep it real. Even down to he thinks I lost enough weight, but I feel like I got another 10 pounds I can go and still be okay. So we got to negotiate, but I do think after another 10 pounds, I think I would be good. But again, it's just how I'm eating. It's not even that I'm trying. It's just that how I'm eating. So at some point it'll balance out. Girl, because of our chat, I started a vision board for us. Hey, I'm telling you, the vision boards work, Nikki. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. Do it. And it's so therapeutic. I wrote and recorded my goals for the year and 3 things that have been knocked out already. That's what I'm saying. Putting things in the atmosphere is definitely real. Absolutely. I truly believe that. Put that thing up in the atmosphere. And then also, Elias, I think it also helps you to remember it, recycle it in your head. You know what I'm saying? So if you record it somewhere, playing your voice back to yourself and listening to your voice, listen to what you were saying last night back to yourself. It's just crazy. You don't even recognize it's you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You need that motivation from you. Thank you, John. Yes, do your vision board. I started using a big dry erase board. I should get a cork board too. Yeah, whatever works. Whatever works. You can tape stuff onto those big dry boards. Elias says, big facts. I love what I do, but I'm big on not letting it run my life. I can control the government or school districts, but I can control my classroom. And as long as I'm giving them my best, I'm not stressed. Yeah, you can't. I feel sorry for teachers. I mean, hey, Leka, teachers definitely need way more support than they get. But that's another, again, burnout job. Hats off to you. It's funny. You used to be born to want to, I want to be a teacher when I grow up. Now, what you see the teachers go through, that's no, I'd rather be a fireman. I'd rather be a police. It's just crazy. And the government don't pay enough to teachers. The people who teaches the doctors, the lawyers, the politicians, and everything else that run our countries is the least paid. If I had a wish, if I had a goal board for the United States, that should definitely be a goal on there. That should be flipped. The frivolous money we spend, and we got teachers on any level. I don't care if you teach in kindergarten or college. You should be paid a salary that's close to them people living out in Beverly Hills or more. And that is the one thing that this country needs, that in healthcare. If they can look how we view the educators and healthcare, flip those 2 things, this will be a better country. How those places where I don't know if it's Canada or maybe it's England, one of them, they don't even you don't pay for healthcare. Now, I'm sure you pay taxes and other things, but like I say all the time, I don't complain about paying taxes. I just complain about where my taxes go. I think that as an individual taxpayer, if you pay 44% in taxes, you should be able to sit down and say, I want 10% to go to this, 13% to go to that, 12% to go to that. Like, what's wrong with that? I think we should. And then the government picks up on the surplus of what the hell people don't want to pay for. I think it will work just fine. So we get to pay, and everybody pay 5% in the what we call the bullpen fund that the government can use. But my other tax money, my other 39%, I should be able to pick up and decide and determine what pool of the tax pools that I want to put it in. Do I want to put it in roads? Do I want to put it in education? Do I want to put it in healthcare? Do I want to put it in Social Security? I should be able to choose that. I don't know why we can't grasp that concept. I mean, I don't know. Elias, I'm just saying. I'm telling you, it will. Think about it. Think about someone like a Jay-Z who makes, who knows, billions of dollars. But if Jay-Z said, I'm putting 20 million in the educational system, and then Nicole says, well, I'm gonna put 5,000 into the educational system, and then Beyonce say I'm gonna put another 5,000, and then Donald Trump, I gotta use some of it. Donald Trump say he's gonna put another 15,000 into the educational system. We have fixed the educational system because I can guarantee you most people will put money into the educational system before they put money into a lot of things, educational and healthcare, before they put into, I don't care if I have to drive on a bumpy road as much as I care about teachers getting paid more money or me not having to pay for healthcare. John said, I think about that every day. The people should be able to decide where taxes go. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't have to pay them. That's not what I'm saying. I just think, tell me the buckets where we struggling, or tell me the buckets where the money would go if I gave you all of my 44%, and let me pick how much I want to put in each bucket. That's all. That's all. I think it's a great proposal. And then there's a 5% bucket. Everybody got to put, whether you rich or poor, 5%. Because one of the problems I have as a taxpayer of 44%, or someone paying 29% or 35%, is that there's a thing called earned income credit that we are not qualified for. It's a certain dollar amount. And that dollar amount ain't a big amount. Okay. So you're going to make me pay more into taxes, but then pay somebody else earned income credit for work that that's gonna be a whole nother conversation. Like I can't. That's my problem. So you're gonna pay somebody who worked at, I'm just gonna say, a job and only made $20,000 that year, an extra $4,500, $5,000 per child, right? But I don't get credit for the tax money that I paid already into it. And I'm actually earning the income, like really earning the income. I have a problem with that. So I think that, like, because I can tell you one bucket that I would not put money into, and that is the Section 8 program. I am sorry. I will put more money into Social Security so a old lady who really does need better housing can get better housing, but I'm not putting money into the housing program, the Section 8 program, very specific. It's the most abused program ever, and I can tell you that firsthand. Most abused program ever. The old lady who's supposed to be living ain't living in there. It's the drug house. There are a lot of people who are beneficial in the program, but those people are normally your older people. Those are the people who normally pay whatever they're supposed to pay, or if nothing at all, everything else they pay on time. I would love to be able to put money into a housing fund for people who really need it. The young mother who was abused and she ran away from her domestic partner who was trying to kill her. I would love to pay into a fund that helps her get on a plane, relocate to an island, wherever the hell she needs to go to get away from him and never have to worry about him again. Let me drop some money into that bucket. But to tell me that I have to pay into these programs that I don't support is the worst thing that the United States of America does, especially the more money you make. You're taking more of my money to make decisions on levels that I don't live. That's not fair. That's not fair. I should have that option. I should have that option to be able to put $100,000 into a school in my community, into a program that helps to make sure that children who are abandoned at home after school have after school programs to go to. I would rather do that. This is my point. It always made sense to me. Like, it's actually, if you think about how back in the day the barter system worked, that's how it worked. It was people washing the hands of each other. You know what I'm saying? And the government was far and few in between. It's when the government starts to take over, completely take over, where it becomes a major issue. Like I think we will be better off as a country if we allow people to put the money into the buckets, and that other 5%, the government's still getting money to fix the roads and everything else they want to do. You're getting lottery money every single day. Y'all not paying out those billions of winners every single week. All of that money that's coming out is money that's going in. You're taking from the poor to pay them back $1 billion. And that's just not how the system should be ran. Like, stop playing me, Alexander Hamilton. Hey, Carissa. I can't. So yeah, so that's pretty much to sum it up. Like, work on your vision boards, work on your personal goals. Live that one part, choose happy every single day. So everybody's going to wake up feeling, I don't care who you are. And social media has a way of making it look like everybody is all together. Everybody, I don't care who you are, have some type of struggle. I don't care who you are. Y'all, we hear more about the rich people and their personal struggles. Cardi B yelling at her husband. Y'all ain't never seen me online yelling at Slim. So everybody thinks this is the perfect lives over here. You know what I'm saying? We all have something we go through. We just have to choose what makes us happy. And that's where I'm good at. Like, I'm good at blocking everything out and say, oh, I'm finding some happy shit to do today. And I'm grateful of having a husband who understands what that means as well. So sometimes the happy shit may be me and him going together, or other times it may be me going roller skating by myself. It's whatever it is. You got to find what that happy shit is for you on that particular day. And especially if those of you who are in what we're doing, the business we're doing, working full time and taking care of these animals full time, you got to have that balance. You got to have that. It's hard. And I'm telling you, I'm talking to myself. Y'all saw my goal board. I have to go back to taking multiple vacations. I just have to make one little adjustment for my own mental conscience, is that I feel better if they shorter vacations and not 10-day vacations, being away from the animal. Nobody can mess anything up with the animals we keep in 4 days. I mean, unless, you don't pay attention to anything, but I got all of those backups right there. So I can call, hey, the alarm going off on this one, the alarm going off on that one. I can do all of that from wherever I'm at. But as far as, making sure that every animal has what it needs, and you're watching their behaviors to make sure that there's nothing strange going on that you got to adjust to them, it's tough. But make that a goal. If your goal is pet life balance, that's a real thing. I tell people that's a real thing. I used to say it used to be work life balance, but pet life balance is a real daggone thing. Create it. Create your pet life balance. My favorite nephew, is actually down here with his girlfriend, and one of the things they said they want to talk about today, they out of the blue, I didn't even know that they were going to be asking me this. They want to come down and sit with us and talk about life goals. I'm like, hey, cool. What's the irony, that I've been just doing this goal thing this week, and that's what they want to talk about. So after I finish this podcast, I'll prepare for them, and they're going to hit some of the same conversations that we're having now, because I want the best for them too as well, especially being younger couples. One of the things that I wish that my parents had stressed is me investing money when I was 13. You know what I'm saying? Investing money when I was 16. Having that financial knowledge now is something I talk to my granddaughter about all the time. That and giving back, which she's mastered that. She believes that you give everything to somebody else, but I just really wish that we shared more on the level of financial wellness. Something else me and Chas was talking about the other day, and it was something that Ozzy taught you. He verbalized it. Money is not made to be spent. Money is made to make money. And a lot of times for me, I already told y'all, that's how Slim think. I felt, but Slim had a different background too. You know what I'm saying? Where money actually did make money. Where I didn't come from background where, Daddy, I need more money to go spend more money. I wanted to continue to do that. So making adjustments, and those goal boards are teaching you better. My goal boards are teaching me better when it comes to buying animals. Y'all heard me say all of 2023. If there's no animal I needed to buy in 2023 that I didn't already buy in 2020 or 2021 and grow up. However, there is a couple of animals in 2024 that I do need to buy to add on to what I've already developed. I'm going to buy those couple of animals. You know what I'm saying? But it's no need for me to be obsessed with just buying them like I did my first few years to get a certain number of breeders by this particular time. I got what I need and I just need to capitalize on it. John says, yeah, I wish I learned investing too. My parents were financially illiterate because they never had parents, so they had to learn for themselves. Now I have to learn for myself. The crazy thing is my mom was like strong in financial literacy. Kept A credit all her life. Like my mom was the bomb with it. My father was more like me. He made money, but Daddy lived. I'm gonna tell you, when my father died in his 50s, okay, but he can honestly say ain't nothing he ain't want to do. All right, he lived. So you definitely have to make those sacrifices. But yeah, I think in this day and age, especially with this younger generation, you should be teaching your 7-year-old financial literacy. I love to watch Shark Tank and see people who took their children and made them 10-year-old entrepreneurs. The one little guy who made the little cute little bow ties. The little boy's a daggone multimillionaire, all from doing something that he just liked doing. The little girl with the little makeup collections, all of them got little bakery names and stuff. Little black girl, that 10 years old. Those were not hopes and dreams of a little black girl 30 years ago for a little girl, period. I don't think you had too many, unless they was like the Olsen twins or something like that, who was acting something like that first. But you didn't have many people who kids were entrepreneurs making profits off of these businesses that you do now. The whole conversation has to change with these children, because the reality of it is that even when you look at some of us as adults after COVID, we made a determination we ain't working for nobody. You know what I'm saying? A lot of adults say, if I ain't working from home, I ain't working for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole new world. We got to prepare these kids for it. And right now, Spicy, right now, if we just focus on creating goals for ourselves and not making sure that these kids have that financial literacy that we did not have for one reason or another. Like, I think it's sad that these kids are not taught in school anymore how to complete an application or write a check. So the only people they can rely on us to teach them that is the parents and the grandparents. Speaking of grandchildren, that is mine. I'll decline it. They're calling from they got through because they're calling from the iPad. I'm just telling you, I do the same thing. I'll call them from the phone and the iPad. I'll do the same thing with them. They just did it to me. It was like, she ain't answering her phone. I'm going to call her iPad. Oh, my goodness. All right, y'all. So I'm going to wrap it up so I can call these grandkids back. I hope everybody have an amazing Saturday. Create your vision board. If you need any help or any questions, feel free to DM me. Like I said, always start off with a base. Your base is going to be start off with a word or a phrase that is going to be the focus of your vision, and then build upon that. Make sure that you have something that is on there that is going to be spiritual, whatever you believe in, spiritual, motivational, and then build everything around that. Visual pictures of what you actually want to accomplish that year. Visual pictures of what you need to refocus on every single day. Every day I need to look at that money. What is new ways that I can make money? What is new avenues that can set me up for ways that create money, whether it's today or if it's tomorrow, or if it's next month, or if it's next year, if it's the next 5 years. That is the goal. The closer you get to your goals, the better off you will be. Everybody have an amazing one. Peace.